So I would like to talk to you about something I was thinking about, and I was like, that's a really good thing to share about. I journaled about it this morning, I think, and I was thinking about some stuff that, um, like just me in general, and my dad. And my dad, he suppressed a lot of his emotions, probably as a stereotypical male that is Asian, and he he bottled emotions. He didn't express them, and then in his 40s and his 50s, he suffered 2 heart attacks and 1 triple bypass. And I think it's partially related to his diet, and he is more susceptible to heart disease and high blood pressure. But my theory is a big part of it was also due to him suppressing his emotions and not sharing with my mom or me or anybody his frustrations, and then he would just bottle and bottle and bottle and suppress until it blew up or it manifested in other ways. It took physical form through his high blood pressure, his heart disease, his heart attacks, like all of it. His ulcers, you named it. You name it, my dad. Anything cardiovascular, he had it. And he had stents put in, all sorts of stuff. And I was thinking about when I was young and I was sharing with my dad how show and tell went. And it was a unicorn that I brought in first grade. And as I was telling him the story about how it went, I got really nervous and scared. So I started crying because I was so terrified of telling him the story about how it went. And he's just like, "Why are you crying? Like, what is wrong with you? I just asked you a simple story about how the unicorn went. Like, why are you crying?" And there was a point in my life where I was really scared of my dad. He was the disciplinarian, and he didn't like it when I asked to buy candy and stuff, and or really expensive, extravagant stuff. And so I was always terrified of my dad because he was always grouchy and in a bad mood and stuff. And he was like, "Why are you crying? Like, I'm just asking you about the story of a unicorn. Like, you shouldn't be crying. Like, why are you crying?" And so then I stopped crying, and I was trying to suppress my emotions and suppress my expression of my emotions. And that's what I did growing up. A lot of the times I would suppress my emotions and I would not express them. I would not be expressive about myself. I wouldn't share myself freely and openly because I thought you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be happy all the time. You're supposed to be very formal and really polite and surfacey and not truly bare your soul and your heart and speak honestly and truthfully. It's more like you should just be very casual. It should be very like, "Oh, everything is fine. Everything is really normal," because my dad is just like, "What is wrong with you? Like, this is not normal. You should not be acting like this. This is what this is not what you should be doing. If I ask you a question about how the show and tell went, you should just tell me how it went. There's no need for you to cry and be upset about it." And, and so I thought, okay, well, I should be very even-keeled about my emotions. I shouldn't show any. So I suppressed them. I was very good at suppressing my emotions. I was very good at being stoic and non-expressive. And it just didn't, now I know it actually was really bad for me, and it hurt me in a way, and it made me very robotic and very desensitive and sensitized to life in general, and it just wasn't good. And now that I've learned to express myself, I'll sing, and I'll just be myself, and I'll sing, randomly belt out, "I want a hippopotamus for Christmas," or, whatever. And I just feel free, and my friend said, if you could run down the street buck naked and not have a care in the world about what anyone thought, not because you're crazy or not because you should run down the street naked, but if you have that kind of mentality where you're like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks because they're going to think what they're going to think. Why are we suppressing ourselves? Why are we aiming to please someone? Why are we living in a way that's just not being who we truly are? which is to express your emotions, express who you are, share your message, share yourself, sing if you feel like it, talk about the hippopotamus, say controversial stuff because it's your opinion, and be okay that some things you say may trigger people, and some things you say people agree with, and some things you say people might not agree with, and it's totally fine. Like the other day, my husband was really upset about feedback he was getting. Like, he left a cereal box on the dinner table, and my mom was just like, hey, why aren't you putting this away? Like, why didn't you put it away? And he's like, I'm trying to do 12 things at once. You know, he got really defensive, and I was thinking, well, that's good that he had a trigger, because that's a chance for me to dig into and ask some questions, and for him to kind of figure out, like, what is this really about? It's never about the cereal box. It's never about, like, I have 12 things to do. Like what is it? Like, you know, what is the deeper issue at hand? And so it's whenever there's, like, when people disagree with you or they're triggered by something you say, it's a great chance to really dig into the issue and what is the root of the disagreement, because you learn so much about yourself, and you learn so much about the other person, and just so much about the human condition. Pretty amazing stuff. So that's why I love my coaching practice. You know, I have these coaching sessions that are deeply profound and meaningful with my clients, and I always learn so much about them, about me, and just about life in general. And we always have these really profound, deep, meaningful conversations, and there's so much soul expansion and so much enlightenment, and I love it. I love it so much. So if you're triggered by stuff, you're stuck on something, you feel like you're not living a life that's deeply fulfilling, meaningful, you're out of alignment, you're not operating from your soul, from your heart, there's definitely something missing, or feel stuck or something, that is a great chance for you to work with me, to have a life coach in your life, to really shift those things, shift those perspectives, add some meaning and depth into your life, and it's just utterly powerful. So have a life coach in your life. I'm a life coach. I'm happy to work with you. If you have someone else in mind, work with them. But most importantly, have a life coach in your life to truly help you live a deeply powerful, meaningful life that is really worth it. Make it really count. Here's to you living a soul elevated life. I will see you tomorrow, and more importantly, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.